Bleacher Report posted an article with a mock trade for the New York Knicks, and I'm here to break it all down. All that and much more on the Knicks Digest. What's up, guys? It's your boy Dariel. So let's get right into today's video. So Bleacher Report, the name of the article, one trade idea for every team not in the 2024 NBA Finals. And let's get right into the trade. So the proposed trade, the Knicks will receive Mikal Bridges and the Brooklyn Nets will receive Deuce McBride, Mitchell Robinson, 4 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks. I don't know, man. That seems a lot, man. That seems like a lot. 4 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks for Mikal Bridges. Now, Mikal Bridges is a good player. He's a nice and decent player. But 4 first-round picks, and we're giving up Deuce and Mitchell Robinson. Now, between Deuce and Mitchell Robinson, obviously Mitchell Robinson is going to be more of the prized possession, if you will. But, man, I like what I saw from Deuce. Is he going to be someone that we can 100% rely on to carry us with Jalen Brunson when he's on the bench with those minutes? I don't think so. I mean, he's going to be able to be someone whenever Jalen Brunson is on the bench, specifically in the playoffs. Deuce McBride isn't going to be the sole reason why we win a game. Deuce McBride is going to be paired up with a Bogdanovich, paired up with a Alec Burks as far as a collective effort. The Knicks win a game in the playoffs. And we saw that in these playoffs in the first round against Philadelphia 76ers. In game 2, it was a collective effort. Game 1, Deuce had a really good game. But between Mitchell Robinson and Deuce, Mitchell Robinson is more of the prized possession, and that'll really, really hurt. Now, I have put out videos in the past talking about Mitchell Robinson and my feelings towards him regarding him being an injured player, injury-prone player. And at this point, I'm not sure exactly how I feel about him. He's our defensive anchor. If he was healthy, forget Bogdanovich, Randall, OG, Mitchell Robinson, Jalen Brunson with the messed up foot, Josh Hart with the abdominal muscle strain. Like, all those injuries obviously killed us in the playoff run. But let's pretend that Mitchell Robinson, at least we had a healthy Mitchell Robinson. No ankle surgery, no re-injuring the ankle. Let's say he never missed any games this entire season and he played all 82 games and he played every game in the playoffs. Now, I know that's super wishful thinking, but I'm in hypothetical land. So in hypothetical land, if we had a Mitchell Robinson, I think game 7 against Indiana could have been different. I mean, by that time, I mean, OG obviously was a skeleton of a player. Jalen Brunson, he played most of the game, but then he ended up breaking his left hand. Josh Hart was playing through a abdominal muscle strain injury. Like, Mitchell Robinson, at least we would have had a healthy big. So if anybody were to go into the lane, he would be able to contest the shot. So I'm not saying that Mitchell Robinson definitely would have been a difference maker and we would have won that game 7 against Indiana Pacers. But I do like my chances a little bit more with a healthy Mitchell Robinson. Now, going back to Mikal Bridges, let's take a look at his numbers for this past season. So this past season, he averaged 19.6 points, 4.5 rebounds, 3.6 assists, shooting 43.6 from the field, shooting 37.2% from three-point land, converting 81.4% from his free throws. Now, the thing with Mikal Bridges is when he got traded from Phoenix to the Brooklyn Nets, I believe it was around Super Bowl. So that's like right before, or it might even be halfway through the NBA season. So the first season with the Brooklyn Nets, he didn't have a full season. They ended up going to the playoffs, but they ended up getting swept by the Philadelphia 76ers in the first round. And if we're just going to keep it a buck, they ended up going to the playoffs because most of those wins came off the backs of Kevin Durant when he was still with Brooklyn and Kyrie Irving when he was still with Brooklyn. They shipped off Kyrie to Dallas, Kevin Durant to Phoenix, which is how Mikal Bridges got to Brooklyn, as well as Cam Johnson. So that was the first season for Mikal Bridges. Now, the second full season with the Brooklyn Nets, which was this season that just passed, they didn't even make the playoffs. And Mikal Bridges being a number 1 option, I feel like a lot of questions were answered as far as, can Mikal Bridges be the number 1 option and carry a team into the playoffs? Again, like I just said, that first season he was with the Brooklyn Nets, most of those wins were because of Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. So when Mikal Bridges got to Brooklyn, yeah, he definitely was a reason why they got into the playoffs, but it wasn't a full season. So it was kind of hard to gauge what type of player Mikal Bridges was going to be for the Brooklyn Nets. But this past season, a lot of questions were answered. Like I said earlier, we found out if Mikal Bridges can be the focal point and if he can be the best player of a team carrying the organization. And in my opinion, I'm not too sure of that. Mikal Bridges, if this hypothetical trade would have go through, Deuce, Mitchell Robinson, 4 first-round picks, and 2 second-round picks, Mikal Bridges coming to the Knicks, he's not going to be the focal point. It's still going to be Jalen Brunson. Julius Randle would be the number 2. So he wouldn't have all that pressure on him. He'd be coming in here and just trying to fit in with the guys. And one of the big reasons why I'm definitely a yes for this trade, if I'm just ignoring the fact that we're losing Mitchell Robinson, obviously, Mikal Bridges joining his Nova boys, joining the Nova gang, Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson, and Dante DiVincenzo, there is something to be said about chemistry and camaraderie. We've seen the chemistry and camaraderie that Dante DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, and Jalen Brunson have done for this Knicks organization. When we got Josh Hart in the trade and when we signed Dante DiVincenzo last offseason, we knew that something was brewing as Knicks fans, but we didn't know how well these three played together. And now with this season that we just seen, we saw how well they play each other. And of course, we were decimated by injuries, so we couldn't get the full scope as far as how far these guys can carry the team. But if we somehow get Mikal Bridges, and I definitely should have prefaced this at the beginning of the video, the only way we're going to be able to get Mikal Bridges outside of this hypothetical trade is if we don't re-sign OG. And by all the reports and all the signs are pointing towards that we are going to sign OG. But if we don't sign OG, then trying to get Mikal Bridges is definitely in play. But it looks like we're going to sign OG, and OG is going to be looking for a lot of money. And if we sign OG, I'm not too sure about the Mikal Bridges part. But going back to hypothetical land, if we are able to get Mikal Bridges, man, adding Mikal Bridges to the lineup where he's not going to have any pressure and he's going to get all the points off of Jalen Brunson creating plays, Julius Randle creating plays. Like, first of all, Mikal Bridges is lengthy. He is, 6'7", 6'8"? I might be shortchanging him. He's 6'7", 6'8", and he has a really big wingspan. He's known as a defensive player. That's definitely one of the things that made him a household name in the NBA. He was a 3-and-D guy. He has experience going to the NBA Finals, making deep playoff runs, so we know that he's not scared of the moment. There's a lot of upside with Mikal Bridges. Again, going back to this hypothetical trade, giving up Mitchell Robinson, Deuce McBride. Oh, man, I mean, if it's just those two players, I would definitely pull the trigger. Because, again, Mitchell Robinson is pretty much injury prone. So, and Deuce McBride, he's a nice player, a nice solid backup. But if you have the potential of getting a Mikal Bridges, who's a 3-and-D type player, I would definitely pull the trigger. But what kills me in this hypothetical trade is the first-round picks. 4 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks for a Mikal Bridges. I'm not sure if it's maybe 2 first-round picks, Deuce McBride, Mitchell Robinson, and 2 first-round picks. I'll definitely be a lot more open to it. So if this hypothetical trade were to go through, let's talk lineups. So Jalen Brunson, of course, would be starting at the 1. Dante DiVincenzo, I think, would start at the 2. Mikal Bridges, we'd put him at the 3. I think Julius Randle would have to be power forward, man. And Isaiah Hartenstein, if we sign him, because he's also a free agent and he's going to be looking for a good amount of money. So Mitchell Robinson in this scenario, he's not here. I'm going through with a hypothetical trade that Bleacher Report just reported. So Mitchell Robinson is not here anymore with the Knicks. So obviously he won't be the starting center. And I'm also kind of getting ahead of myself and pretending that we signed Isaiah Hartenstein and we retain him. So if we retain Isaiah Hartenstein, he'd automatically be the starting big. So Isaiah Hartenstein at the 5. I think Randle would have to be the 4. Mikal Bridges the 3. Dante the 2. Jalen Brunson the 1. So that means coming off the bench, we got Josh Hart coming off the bench. We got Bogdanovich coming off the bench. We got Alec Burks coming off the bench. Jericho Sims, obviously. Precious Achiuwa, obviously. Man, that starting 5, man. That starting 5 sounds nice. It sounds nice. But again, I'm getting ahead of myself. This is just a report that I'm talking about. This is just a hypothetical trade that Bleacher Report threw out. And we're NBA fans. We're Knicks fans. One can wonder. One can hope. So that's what this video is about. But that's it for today's video, guys. I want to say thank you for checking out this video. Leave it in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about this hypothetical trade that Bleacher Report threw out for Mikal Bridges going to the Knicks. But until next time, guys, thank you for checking out the video. You know the drill. You know the vibes. Jalen Brunson for all the MVPs. Taj Gibson for president, wherever you are. The deuce is loose. Deuce, I'm sorry, man. In this video, you're not a part of the Knicks anymore, but you're always going to be a part of the Knicks in my heart. So I'm still going to give you that shout out. The deuce is loose. But I'll check you out in the next video, guys. Peace.